So this is the 3-3 practice. Hopefully you found that in Google Classroom. There are 12 problems. You only have to do the first 10. The bottom 2 are bonus. The answers are at the bottom, so check them as you go. And I will help you set these up. If I won't see you Wednesday, but if I see you Thursday, any of the ones you're having struggling with the setup, I would be more than happy to help you, okay? And we might do one here in a minute, but, and then there's one last thing. The 3133 review, starting with number 4, I only want you to do the odds. We have to do these 3, which we'll do together here momentarily, okay? So find this is the 3-1 to 3-3 review, okay, which is not due till Friday. We're doing the odds mostly, except the top 3. I'm going to do those with you. Okay. So open up this review so we can write the definitions at the top. So find the 3133 review. You have all week long to finish this. So everything's due on Friday. And again, if you need to finish anything at home, you are welcome to pull out a sheet of paper and put half of it on your Google, doing it on your Chromebook, and then half on a sheet of paper. I'm okay with that. So you can, you can if you really need to. Okay, so find the 3133 review for me. Let's write in these definitions, these little spots on the top. I'm going to put a little notes for you on this one. So at this time, everybody find the 3133 review from Google Classroom. And then you will have the rest of class to just work on. Start with the 3-3 homework, then move on to the 3-3 practice, 1 to 10. Then move on to the 3133 practice or review, which is mostly odds. Okay, everybody have this 3133 review. Open up. Okay, so at the top it says the 3 types of solutions. So the first one is infinite solutions, and that would be overlapping lines. Okay, if you do the algebra, you might get something that says like 0 equals 0. You'll get a true statement, 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2. Well, of course it does, So that's what the algebra would tell you. The graph, it would be overlapping lines. The algebra, everything kind of cancels and you end up with 0 equals 0 is very common for the infinite solutions, okay? No solution, those are parallel lines. Those are parallel lines. You might get something that 0 equals 2, which isn't true. So that's what the algebra might tell you. Kind of everything cancels, but then you get a weird statement like 0 equals 2, 4 equals 7. Well, no, it doesn't. So that happens often with the parallel lines. Okay. Feel free here to write the infinity symbol and here to write that null set symbol. That's okay as you prepare for like a pre-calc class. One solution, they're just intersecting lines. So they make an X. The answer is some ordered pair. So you will actually get that X equals 2 and Y equals 4 or whatever you happens. You'll get numbers and you'll be able to look at where they intersect. So that's the 3 type of systems that they're talking about. Now let's talk about some of the words. This is inconsistent, this is inconsistent. This is consistent. Independent. This is consistent. Dependent. Okay? So that's really all you need to write down for that top section. Okay, so infinite solution, that would be consistent dependent. No solution is inconsistent. One solution is consistent independent. They cross at an x, they cross at a particular point. That would be your answer. Everybody have that stuff written down? Okay. Now, let's talk about this review. So, to solve systems by graphing, graph each line. Where do they cross? That's what you're asking yourself. Graph each line, where do they cross? Using slope-intercept form is common, y equals mx plus b. Here is your slope. Here is your y-intercept. So start at that starting point, your y-intercept, and then go up, sum them over, whatever, rise over run. So just look with their cross. You're only going to do from this section 5 and 7 and 9, okay, and 11. So those four, the first three are really nice. They're in slope-intercept form. This one, 9 and 11, is in standard form. You can solve it for y, or you can do the little 0, 0 chart. Whichever floats your boat, I don't care. You can graph any method you like. Whether if you want to plug in points, if you want to plug in 0, 0, if you want to plug in x is 0, y 0, slope intercept, whatever you want to do, okay? And then just if they do intersect, please label where they intersect, okay? Now let's talk about substitution. For substitution, you either get y equals or x equals, and then substitute in. And you're substituting into the other equation. Okay? You're going to do there 13, 15, 17, and 19. There's 4 of those. Oh, 21, 23. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So either get one of the equations to read y equals or x equals. This is one where it doesn't matter, either one. And then you'll substitute that into the other equation. I'm going to do one of each in a minute. I'm just first now kind of going over those little notes. Then we'll go back and we'll do some together, okay? And again, you have all Wednesday and all Thursday and all Friday to work on this. Everybody good with the note about substitution?
You said just odds on that one as well.
Just odds there. Uh-huh. Yep. Okay. Now let's talk about elimination. We're going to do the odds in this section too. You want the x, the y, and the number lined up. You want the x, the y, and the number lined up. Make the x's or the y's become opposites. So you can eliminate it. If everything eliminates to the point where you get 0 equals 0, that means those lines are the same and it's all real numbers or infinity. If you get it to be a nonsense statement like 0 equals 2, that means that there is no solution. But most of these, you're going to get that x equals a number and y equals a number. That will be their point of intersection. So you got to have your x, y, and number lined up. Then you're going to make the x's or y's become opposites, so you can eliminate either the x or y. It doesn't matter which you pick. We'll do the odds here. We'll do one of those in a minute. I'll try to pick one that's kind of funky for you. And this assignment I've made worth, usually most of your assignments you probably noticed are 10 points. This one's a 20 because it's just too much. I mean, there's a lot. And then there are just some word problems. We might just do the odds in those. Yeah, let's just do the odds in the word problem. 41, 43, 45, and 47. All of the answers are right here. Check them as you go, because then, come to me and go, I didn't get number 13. Can you show me how? What did I do wrong? And I can help you. Okay? Okay, so odds on this assignment. Let's go ahead and do, I'll try to pick some of the hardest from each section. So for the graphing ones, could we please do 11 together? We're going to do 11 together on the odds. Now, because they're both in standard form, to graph them, you can solve for y, but I wouldn't waste my time doing that. Instead, I am going to use a 0, 0 intercept chart. I'll do one for each. Okay? It's the easiest method when you have x's and y's on the same side. Okay. So first, let's make x equal to 0 in our top equation. If the x is 0, we're left with negative 2y equals 4. Because this term now is 0, you're just left with the other things. And then it just becomes a one-step equation after that. We divide by negative 2, y is equal to negative 2. And now do it again, this time with y equal to 0. So now this is 0. So that's great because it's gone. And you get that 3x equals 4, so x is 4/3. Now that's not a great point. Usually one's really good and one's eh. But what you can do then, you know that that's about 1.3. And you can kind of know where a third is going to, just get there to that point as close as you can. So let's graph that. So our graph paper is counting by ones. I think most of this graph paper is. We're going to start on the y-axis. We have the point 0, negative 2. On the x-axis, I'm going to guesstimate 1.3 is about there. And I will graph my line as best I can, trying to make it as straight as I can. And if you did it on paper, use a ruler. Be careful, because you need to really find that point of intersection. Now we got to do it again for our bottom equation. Okay. If x is 0, that x is going to be 0. We're going to be left with negative 4y equals negative 12, or y is equal to 3. Does everybody see how I got that one? Now, this time we're going to let y equals 0. So now my y is 0. And it just gives us immediately 0 equals, or x equals negative 12. Okay. Now, negative 12 is not on my graph paper. I think I could probably guess approximately. It's the x-intercept. Okay. Yeah, it's the x-intercept, I'm sorry. So I'm going to hit the y-axis at 3. I'm going to hit the x-axis at negative 12. I'm so sorry. My graph needs to go the other way. And it is so not straight, but you get the idea. Okay, so negative 5, negative 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And why would they make it so that it's off the page, isn't it?
Yeah, we should just not do those ones that's off the page.
Yeah, if it's off the page, well, it might be that point, I think it is. It's not off the page, but it's so grody. So let's label that point. It looks like it's the 0.44. So my solution is 4,4. I think it's 4,4. And that's the problem with graphing. You could check the algebra. You could throw it into Desmos. Does it say at the bottom 11 is 4,4? Let's check. 11. Oh, it's 4,4. Good. So there is number 11's graph. A little yucky. I'm glad we did that one together. So that's how you solve by graphing. What do the graphs look like? Where do they intersect? Okay. Now, numbers 12 to 23 is substitution. I want to do 23 with you. Okay. So if we were to use substitution, looking at these variables, I think the nicest thing is that plain old y. So if we rearrange this equation, solving it for y is 7 minus 3x. I don't have to worry about slope-intercept form. If you wrote negative 3x plus 7, go for it. Okay? Okay. That is going to substitute in that spot, in a parenthesis. Okay? So I know 6x minus 3 times that y I found, 7 minus 3x, has to equal 24. And then I pretend like the other stuff wasn't even there. It's not even there, okay? I'm going to take the negative 3. I'm going to distribute it in. I get 6x minus 21 plus 9x equals 24, okay? It's not a bad idea to go down to the bottom of the paper, find what the answer is. Oh, the answer is 5, 7. It's 2, 3. Whatever. Write it to the side. Oh, I know the answer. Let's do that. I know the answer to 23 is 3, negative 2. Let's write that as a resource. Okay, so I know I better get 3, negative 2. Okay, so let's see. Are we going to get 3, negative 2? Well, the x I get in this spot should be 3. Let's check. 6x plus 9x is 15x. If I move the 24 to the other side, I have to add it. I get 15x equals 45. Divide by 15, x is 3. Check, yay. I did get exactly what they wanted me to get. Now, how do I find the y? I got my x. How do I find my y? Yeah, plug it in right here. We know that y is 7 minus 3x. That's one of the reasons I really like to use substitution. The only benefit I believe about substitution is you got a nice equation now. So y is 7 minus 3 times 3. 7 minus 9 is negative 2. What did they say the point I was looking for at the bottom of the page was? 3, negative 2. What did I find? 3, negative 2. So using that as a resource to check as you go. If you get your x wrong, what'd you do? Don't go further. Go check your work, okay? So that's substitution. Everybody good with 23 in the substitution area? Okay, let's do one from the elimination that's kind of difficult. Let's do the last one in that one. Let's do, please, number 39. So jump to 39. Now, for elimination, make sure the x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, the equals lined up, the numbers lined up, which they are. We either have to make the x's become opposites. The number that 3 and 10 goes into is 30. Here, or we can make the y's, the number that they have to go into is 12. I think 12 is a smaller, more doable number than 30. But if you chose 30, go for it. Can somebody scroll to the bottom and tell me what the answer is for this one? Can somebody tell me what the answer is? Is there an answer for number 39?
Negative 3, negative 3.
Negative 3, negative 3? Thank you. Okay. So now we know what we're shooting for. Now, if we go and you just kind of are flip-flopping these numbers. I'm multiplying 4 on the top, so this will become a positive 12. 3 on the bottom, so that will become a negative 12. Okay, so let's multiply through by everything. We get negative 12x plus 12y equals 0.
You said we're only going to 10 on yesterday, right?
Yeah. And then this is 30x minus 12y equals negative 54. And now, when we add these together, you can notice that our y's will be eliminated. So we get 18x equals negative 54. And I think 54 divided by 18 is 3. So I think we did it right. Yep. So x is negative 3. Now, you're not done until you put this up into one of your other equations. It doesn't matter which. I'll just put the top one. I'll put a negative 3 right there. So negative 3 times negative 3 plus 3y equals 0. 9 plus 3y equals 0. That would give us, when we move that negative, or that 9 to the other side, it becomes a negative. Divide by 3, we do get negative 3. So write that as our order pair. So as you do these, check your work. Even write your answer down. Know what you're getting ahead of time. Because these are time consuming, I don't want you getting an answer and then you still have to plug it in and get the second answer when your first answer wasn't even right. You know what I mean? Okay? And then the word problems, we'll tackle any that you need help on when I see you on Thursday. We can even do some on Friday. So you have 3 assignments. Your 3-3 homework is due today. No, due Wednesday. Your 3-3 practice and 3-1, 3-3 review is due on Friday. Those 2 are both due Friday. You have class tomorrow. You have class Thursday. You have class Friday. If you need to work on anything at home, feel free to do it on paper. You can bring in the paper and show me. You can take pictures of the paper, whatever you want to do. Okay? Do we have any questions about what you should be doing? Good?
We're just doing the thing from yesterday and then the 3-1, 3-3 review, that's it, right?
And the 3-3 practice. Did you get that one?
That's the thing from yesterday, right?
No, we started the 3-3 homework. I'll show you here in a second.